got a good feeling about today. Today's a good day. I can't possibly think of anything that'll make it any better. Hang on a second, it's Halloween! Oh. I've missed it. Jesus Christ, am I really that bad at keeping up a consistent upload schedule? Well, goddammit, what am I supposed to do now? Huh? Sonic the Porcupine. Right then, Sonic the Hedgehog. Where do we even begin with this guy? Created back in 1991, way back in the far off time when Sega used to make consoles as the answer to everyone's favourite Assassin's Creed character.
It's a me!
Mario!
Sonic indeed tried to do what Nintendo don't. I'll tell you what they didn't have. The fast. Thus leaning to what the Blue Blur's most famous for, picking up as much speed as you can, going through each of his levels, trying to get to the goal as quickly as possible. It all started on the Sega Genesis, or the Mega Drive over here in Europe, with Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and okay, fine, this one's fairly dated by today's standards, but it's still a pretty respectable kickoff for the series. But Sonic 2, on the other hand, is where it really started, in my opinion, with the introduction of the Spin Dash, Tails makes his first appearance, the Chaos Emeralds were actually given a purpose, allowing you to become Super Sonic when you gather all 7. This game was great. But Sonic 3, holy bollocks, even to date, this game is amazing. Easily my favorite in the classic trilogy. The pixel graphics still look fantastic, even by today's standards, only to be overtaken by Sonic Mania back in 2017. The music is godlike. I mean, apparently Michael Jackson was involved, but that's a discussion for another time. I'm not even gonna touch that. And Knuckles. Come on, you all saw that one coming. This is a Sonic video, for Christ's sake. Then, of course, there was his big jump to 3D. And that ends the history segment of today's video. Don't worry, I can already see a bunch of people going to click off this video, but you don't need to worry about it. I'm not about to start a whole rant about Sonic 06 and say the likes of,
"Oh, Sonic hasn't been the same since his 3D debut,"
and,
"Hey, Sonic had a pretty rocky jump to 3D."
I'm pretty sure those two phrases have been said to death on the internet over the last few years, so I'll stay away from them. Even though I kind of just said them now, but that was just an example, okay? Leave me alone. I'm just saying that since the Blue Blur has been mainly 3D focused, there have been some generally fantastic titles. The Adventure series, Heroes, Unleashed, Generations, all truly amazing games. But of course, this is the internet after all. We do still have to acknowledge the series' low points, and my God, has this series had its lows. And when those low points happen, especially for a series as great and iconic as Sonic, they hurt twice as much. You hear me, Sonic Forces? But hey, as I've stated, we're not here to talk about that today, because this year marks the 30th anniversary of the Sonic series, and in celebration of this, not only have we had the reveal of a brand new game coming out next year, we've also been given a remaster of one of the best games in the series as of recent, Sonic Colors Ultimate. Spelled with a U. Listen, alright, I live over here in the great nation of British, governor. We have a U here, alright? I don't know why, don't judge me.
What's that got to do with my knob?
But today I thought we should just jump back to the original release of Colors, released back in 2009 as one of the Wii exclusive Sonic titles, just to see how far we've come, and why it was this game in particular that deserved a remaster in the first place. So yeah. Let's do that, shall we? So with that being said, you're right, lads, Dan here. Welcome back to a brand new video. And today, as I've literally just said, we're going to be checking out Sonic Colors, a game which I personally haven't played in quite a while. So with the remaster coming out fairly recently as the time of recording this video, there's really never been a better time to jump into what many people consider to be one of Sonic's finest 3D outings. So yeah, lads, without further ado, let's check out Sonic Colors. Spelled with a U. Oh, it's so good to be back. So we start things off, and straight off the title screen, we are flung into Act 1 of Tropical Resort. Without rhyme or reason, we're literally just here. What, were you expecting an explanation of where we are? A cutscene? Story? Well, you get none of that. You just get plonked down in a stage, and you gotta run until the game tells you you can stop. And you know what? I'm totally fine with this. The game leaves you alone for the first couple of acts so you can get accustomed to the controls and get a grip of what you have to do. It also shows you a few optional pathways in certain levels you gotta come back to later if you want to fully 100% them. This game does not hold your hand in the first few acts, and I can respect that. I'm surprised more games don't do this. So our old pal Dr. Eggman has built a huge interstellar amusement park spanning multiple different planets as a way to atone for everything he's done in the past, but knowing him, there's most likely an ulterior motive buried deep in the crevices of his mustache. So Sonic and Tails decide to sneak in to check things out. But literally less than 5 minutes after they turn up, said motive reveals itself. They find out that Eggman's actually enslaved the planets that make up the park, using powerful tractor beams to stop them from going anywhere. Alongside this, he is in the process of capturing these little aliens called Wisps to drain them of their power to fuel a mind control ray, which he intends to zap their planet with. And well, we can't be having any of that now, can we? So I guess it's up to Sonic to speed his way through the planets, destroy the tractor beams, rescue the Wisps, and of course, stop Eggman from firing that laser. So you progress through the game by traveling through the 6 main areas that make up the park. The main resort, a planet made entirely of sweets, a visually stunning light show complete with neon airships and pads made of light that appear and disappear as you run over them, the Wisp's home planet that's been filled with industrial equipment to build more attractions and destroy their home, a giant aquarium themed planet with a few Asian set pieces, and a huge asteroid belt full of roller coasters where the Wisps that have lost their power hang out. This leads to my own, and I'm sure many other people's main gripe with this game. So, you know how in most Sonic games you have the 2 to 3 full acts and then a boss structure? Remember that? You remember how good that was? Remember how that was a perfectly fine way to structure a Sonic game that didn't need changing? Guess how many acts there are per world here? No, really, go ahead. 2? 3? No, you're wrong! There are 6. Yep, you heard me. There are 6 acts and then a boss in every single world. Now I know what you're probably thinking, but Dan, having more stages is good because that means more content in the game for us to play. Why are you complaining? What are you? Well, for starters, yes. Yes, I am. How else do you think I survived nearly 2 years of making these videos whilst only having 3 mental breakdowns in the process? For Christ's sake, mate, I gotta be doped up on something. Okay, fine. In all seriousness, though, it's not necessarily about the amount of stages per world. I mean, honestly, I'd agree with you. Having more stages in a world would be a good thing. It's just how inconsistent they can be when it comes to length that kind of rubs me the wrong way. You see, thing is, some acts will take the standard 1 to 3 minutes, which we've come to expect from modern Sonic stages nowadays, whilst others will take you 20 bloody seconds. No, I'm not joking. At this point, there should have either been made smaller sections of bigger levels, or hell, they should have just gotten rid of them entirely. And you know what? Whilst I'm on the process of bitching about small things in an 11-year-old game that doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things, let's be real. Can we talk about the bosses real quick? Because oh dear. Right, fine. For the most part, the bosses really aren't too bad, don't get me wrong. And hell, they even translate the amusement park concept fairly well. For example, in Worlds 1, 2, and 3, you fight a giant Ferris wheel full of moving platforms, a crew of pirates that you need to lure off of their ship, and a huge gunship that runs away from you so you need to chase it down to land any hits on it. Okay, fine, that one may be stretching it a little bit, but you get the idea. And then in Worlds 4, 5, and 6, you fight a giant Ferris wheel full of moving platforms, a crew full of pirates you need to lure off of their ship, and then a huge gunship that runs away from you, so you need to chase it down to hang on a second, I think I've heard this one before. Yes, for whatever reason, this game essentially copy-pastes the bosses for the first 3 worlds and then just plonks them down in the latter 3 with a new paint job and maybe 1 new attack if you're lucky. Listen, just because I'm fighting the pirates again, but I'm underwater this time, that doesn't mean I'm not basically doing the same fight again. I'm just saying. But that's enough of me being a whiny little brat. How does the game actually play? Well, I'll tell you. This game falls under what people have gone on to call the boost formula. It's a lot more linear than, say, the Adventure series, but it's not fully 2D either, like the classic games or Mania. It's kinda somewhere in between. As you progress through each of the game's stages, you'll constantly be flipped between narrowish 3D corridors and 2D side-scrolling segments. And you head on through using your fairly bog-standard Sonic moves like your homing attack, your stomp, your slide, and of course, it is called the boost formula for a reason after all, as you rush around bashing robots and grabbing capsules capsules full of wisps, a gauge fills up on the bottom of the screen, and when you have some juice in there, whilst running, simply hold down a button and then, there's the fast. And occasionally you'll need to use a few more context-sensitive actions that kind of just activate in the moment, such as the ability to jump infinitely when you're underwater. You can sometimes drift around wide corners, which is always so satisfying to pull off. I love doing this. Or you can do a quick step to the left and right to quickly avoid obstacles and enemy fire. But wait! That's not all!
There's more?
As you progress through the game's 6 planets, you'll find different kinds of wisps, which kind of act like this game's version of a power-up in a way. You pop open their respective capsules when you find them, and then let rip with a one-off ability, which lasts for a few seconds, and then you're back on your merry way. I've already mentioned the standard white wisp, which fills up your boost gauge a bit, but as you progress, you'll get access to much more unique abilities, such as the Cyan Laser, which works exactly like it says on the tin. You activate it, pick a direction, then shoot off. You can use this to skip huge chunks of levels if you aim it right enough, or you can shoot into these crystals, which takes you along a certain path. There's the yellow drill, which lets you power your way through certain terrain to find hidden areas or to get underneath enemies to attack them. The orange rocket does, well, what do you think? It launches Sonic directly upwards into the air to reach higher platforms. The pink spike essentially lets you perform the spin dash from the classic games. Alright then. The green hover wisp allows you to fly around and travel along lines of rings, like the Lightspeed dash from the adventure games. What is it with this game unlocking old series staple moves behind power-ups? There's the purple frenzy wisp that turns Sonic into an insane killing machine, just tearing through everything in his path. And the more stuff he eats, the bigger he gets. This one is so much fun, in all honesty. It's easily my personal favorite. And then there's the blue cube. Come on, one of these had to be the worst. So basically, this thing stops you dead in your tracks and slams you on the ground to turn certain blocks into rings and vice versa. Yeah, sorry, I'm not a fan of this one at all. All this aside, the wisps, as an idea, are honestly pretty damn good. They're definitely one of the better power-up ideas the series has seen. And Sega obviously agrees with me because they've appeared in almost every single mainline game since then. Despite the fact that, in context of the story, it makes little to no sense for them to be here whatsoever. Aren't they supposed to be aliens? Didn't they go home? I guess we'll never know. Right then, so 5 planets, 6 bosses, and a metric ton of busted robot parts later, all 5 tractor beams are destroyed, setting each of the planets and their respective wisps free from the Doctor's control. Well, goddammit, I guess that's it. Mission accomplished. Time to go home, everyone. I've got a feeling that everything is gonna be just fine. Don't be fooled! Things are not fine! The tractor beams may be gone and the wisps may be free, but that doesn't mean Eggman's lost the power he's been storing since the beginning of the game. So in a desperate move without thinking, he activates the laser set to hit the world, and it works just as he intended it to. Does it? Nah, what really happens is that due to a busted robot part sticking out of one of the tanks, the laser immediately backfires and starts a huge explosion that will soon consume the entire park. Realizing this, Sonic and Tails decide it's time to get the hell out of there. But of course, the good Doctor ain't gonna let them go so easily. And this final fight, I'm not gonna lie, is so damn good. It's definitely worth all the copy-pasted bullshit we've done up until this point. Basically, how it works is that you're auto running forward, and you need to avoid Eggman's attacks until there's an opening. Sounds pretty box standard, right? Right. But the thing is, each attack is based on a different wisp power, essentially meaning that you're having variations of your own moves used against you, and I love it when games do things like this. It's so damn good. I mean, hell, they did end up reusing the basic concept for this fight for the final boss of Sonic Forces, so I guess that means it's special. After beating Eggman, the explosion starts to get a little bit out of hand, and despite his best efforts to escape, Sonic winds up getting caught in the blast and knocked out. Luckily though, the wisps are on hand to pick him up and return him home safely. Alongside this, all of the drained wisps suddenly get all their power back. Bloody somehow. And they all band together to put a stop to the explosion and return the planets back into space where they belong. And after one final goodbye, the wisps zip off back into space, thus bringing an end to Sonic Colors. But in conclusion, sure, this game does have its faults, what with the inconsistent lengths when it comes to levels, and the copy-pasted bosses making you fight the same guys twice with a very slight twist on the end to try to make them seem different. But you can still see why loads of people think this is one of the best 3D Sonic outings since the adventure games. This game is so good. Not to mention, if you merely play through to the end and you know what you're doing, it's a pretty short ride as well. I was able to beat this game in 1 2.5 hour recording session. And no, I am not joking when I say that. And there's even a bunch of side content I neglected to mention, such as the optional Sonic Simulator, which you can play to get the Chaos Emeralds, allowing you to play as Super Sonic in regular gameplay when you collect all 7. But whilst you are Super Sonic, you can't use Wisps, making it nearly impossible to surpass certain obstacles. So I mean, it's a nice addition for the completionists, but it is totally optional at the end of the day. Besides, have you seen how long it's been since the last episode on this channel? I don't have time for an all-powerful rodent covered in wee. I've got videos to make. But at the end of the day, this is not my favorite Sonic game in the world. I mean, hell, it's not even my favorite boost formula game, because if you ask me, Unleashed did it better before, and Generations has done it better since. I mean, hell, loads of people consider Generations to be the best of its kind. But none of this means that this is a bad game. Oh, Jesus, no. I mean, it does have its flaws, but despite all that, I really enjoyed my time coming back to this one. It was pretty good. Hell, I'm not even done talking about colors as a whole, because there was also a DS version released at roughly the same time, and the only reason I didn't talk about that one today is because many consider it to be the 3rd game in the Rush trilogy, because it plays almost identically to those games. And I am considering making a full video on the Rush games at some point in the future, so I'll just save it for then, yeah? But yeah, that was Sonic Colors, and, well, I know I've made my feelings on this game pretty unclear with how mixed I'm being, but really, this is a damn good game, and, well, it's, definitely one of the best Sonic Wii games. I'll give it that. Not that that's saying much. But yeah, that's all I've got left for today, so I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the near future, and, oh, hang on a second. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Something that's in every single Sonic Colors video on the internet. What was it again? Hey, Sonic, buddy, do you know what it is?
No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me!
It won't last 2 minutes on YouTube.